I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Rob Gardner, and I am the manager of plumbing and timber trades at Boxall Institute. A little bit of background history about myself. I am a qualified chef of 20 years, and I met my lovely wife while I was living up on the Gold Coast, and she said to me that if you keep doing this, this is going to kill you. So I then proceeded to go and get my certificate in training and assessment and became a commercial cookery teacher. Now, the philosophy behind that was, so of course I didn't kill myself working, but also if I drop dead tomorrow with 20 years experience in my belt, that goes in the ground with me. So I chose to become a commercial cookery teacher because my philosophy in life is I live to give. I like to help people. And if I can pass on a little bit of my knowledge to help someone in the profession that I was originally in, and help their outcome in life by 0.0001%, I'm doing my bit for society. So I became a commercial cookery teacher, and then through luck and hard will and hard work, I have ended up becoming the manager of plumbing and timber trades at Boxall Institute. So, you know, we have a wonderful team in the plumbing industry. We have a wealth of knowledge and experience. And, you know, this webinar is telling you what we can offer you if you are interested in coming in doing a Cert 2 pre-apprenticeship with us. Can I have the next slide, please? So, as it says there, becoming a plumber isn't just fixing toilets, doing house calls and dealing with blocked drains. As a plumber, you can find work across a number of areas, including drainage, gas fitting, irrigation, mechanical services, roofing, sanitation, and water supply. There's a strong growth forecast for plumbers. So I'll explain a little bit about plumbing. So plumbing, if you're a plumbing apprentice, you have to complete 6 streams, which, as I said, is water, roofing, sanitary, gas, mechanical, and drainage. To be a qualified plumber, complete all those 6 streams, you will then become a registered plumber. You have to do a journeyman's exam, and then you become a licensed plumber by doing a certificate 4 in plumbing, which is plumbing operations. So, as it said there, it's not just about unblocking toilets. If you think about your house, all the water, that is organised by a plumber. Gas, that is organised by a plumber. So your toilets, your kitchens, your bathrooms, the roof above your head, that is done by a plumber. Mechanical services, so air conditioning. There is so much opportunities and scope for people who are in the plumbing field. So can I have the next slide, please? So who we are a specialised training plumbing centre. We have over 400 students. So we have students doing certificate 3, we have students doing certificate 2, we have students doing certificate 4. We have very strong industry connections. One of our closest, strongest industry connections is Reece. We have passionate teachers. I have 7 teachers that I manage, and between those 7 teachers, I dare say they've probably got close to 150 years of experience in plumbing amongst them. We are also building a new Green Skills Trade Training Centre at Lilydale. That will be open in hopefully May, April next year, and it's going to be state-of-the-art facilities. We're looking to be running pre-apprenticeships up there, and we'll also be looking to have our apprentice groups attend there. Now, if you are lucky enough, and I hope we can help you to get yourself an apprenticeship, and you live around that area, you'd be more than welcome to attend that brand new facility. By the way, the picture of the young lady in that photo there, her name is Amy Wheeler. She's one of our current plumbing apprentices. The majority of our apprentices at Box Hill are male. We have a small cohort of female apprentices, and it's wonderful to have the female apprentices because their attention to detail compared to the male cohort is phenomenal. We need more women in trade, so if there are any girls out there who are looking to do a pre-app, please consider it because we need more women in either in all the trades, in electrical, wood trades, and also in plumbing. Next slide, please. All right, our campus locations. We have a campus in Melbourne, Box Hill and Lilydale. We do not run plumbing or any of the trades at our Melbourne location, but we run our trade departments out of Lilydale and Box Hill. All right, so I'll go into what we actually do at Boxall Institute. So we deliver a Cert 2 plumbing a Cert 3 plumbing and the journeyman's exam. So the Cert 2 plumbing is 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and lasts for 10 weeks. And once again, this just gives you the basic employability skills and the basic skills to be a plumber. It doesn't give you the skills to go and change the hot water unit at your grandmother's house, but it will give you the skills on how to use tools correctly, how to follow correct occupational health and safety requirements, and maintain safety in the workplace. It teaches you basic sheet metal. It will teach you basic welding. It teaches you the basic skills so that if and when you do end up going for an interview for an apprenticeship, you'll be able to sell yourself. So this will give you the tools so that when you go for the interview, you'll be able to talk about the sheet metal that you did. You'll be able to talk about the oxyacetylene and arc welding that you did. You'll be able to talk about the technical drawings that you did. You'll be able to sell yourself about the occupational health and safety that you know, because a lot of employers would have a good understanding, or they would greatly appreciate if you had a basic or a fairly good understanding of OH&S. Because as you know, working on a building site and working in a trade, it can be quite a dangerous area to work in. But you need to maintain your safety. This is a really great stepping stone for you to get yourself an apprenticeship. The reason I say this also is because an employer can see that you can apply yourself to something. Quite often in life, we try something out and we find it a little bit too difficult and we give up. At least with this, if you complete this, you can sell it, you can use it as a selling point at your interview and say to the employer, I've done this. These are all the things I've done during the Cert 2 pre-app program. And he'll feel comfortable that you have a basic understanding about tool safety, about how to use oxyacetylene equipment, how to use plumbing pipes and fittings. So it gives you a basic understanding and gives you basic employability skills. Some of the units that you do in the pre-app are also credit transferred into the plumbing apprenticeship. Now, I'll go into the Cert 3 plumbing apprenticeship. So to complete a Certificate 3, you need to be a registered plumber, which means that you need to be employed by an employer, of course, under the apprenticeship scheme. So we do block release, which means that you'll be coming in 5 days a week, once a month, over a 3-year period. We try and work out that you do 10 blocks per year. So this is also a transportable qualification. As I said earlier, I was a chef by trade. I've been lucky enough to travel overseas for a couple of years where I took my chefing qualification with me. I did a ski season in Austria. I've also done 2 ski seasons up at Mount Buller back in my younger days. I've lived on the Gold Coast. I've travelled around a fair bit, and I've always had these skills that I've been able to take with me. It's like riding a bike. Once you get on a bike and you learn the skills of riding a bike, you'll never forget them. Similar to having a trade behind you. You may want to leave the trade for a couple of years because you may get a little bit sick and tired of it, but then you can always come back because you've got those skills, you've got that grounded knowledge that will help you to pick up the pieces where you left from. All right, so as I've said earlier, we deliver the below streams: mechanical, water, drainage, sanitary, roofing, and gas. Once you have done your apprenticeship, to become a registered plumber, we run a exam, which is called the journeyman's exam, which is run by the VBA. Now, the VBA will assess you on the work, so they'll set you a task to do, and you have to complete that task in a given period, 3.5 hours they normally give you. So we do revision prior to the exam, and as I said, to become a registered plumber, you need to be registered in each one of the streams, so the mechanical, water, drainage, sanitary, roofing, and gas, to become a registered plumber. To become a licensed plumber, you then have to do further study to do your Certificate 4 in plumbing operations, and then that will allow you to become a licensed plumber, which then will allow you to go to a job and sign off a compliance certificate. As a registered plumber, you cannot sign off a certificate of compliance. All right, next slide, please. All right, why you should study plumbing, and there's a picture of, I think that is Amy and Aaron in our plumbing sandpit. So why you should study plumbing. It's a licensed trade. Nothing more said about that because there's 2 trades out there that are licensed. It is electrical and plumbing. They are very sought after trades. And as I said, if every room in your house, or most rooms in your house would have some facet of plumbing attached to it. Without water, plumbers. Without a roof on your head, plumbers. Without gas in your house, plumbers. So there are lots of scopes. Without air conditioning, plumbers. There are so many job opportunities out there for a plumber. So it is a very well-paid trade. There are lots of work opportunities. As you know, Melbourne is growing at a rate of knots, and it's extending further and further out of the suburbs. All those houses need a plumber. People do renovations on their houses. All those houses need a plumber. People get a block drain. People are installing a new gas oven. That is plumbing. So there are so many opportunities out there to become a plumber. And as it says there, doctors cure. So when you're sick, a doctor cures you. Plumbers prevent you from being sick. Plumbers supply you with fresh water. Plumbers will supply you with heating. Plumbers will supply you with cold air in summer. So plumbers try and prevent when doctors cure. All parts of housing constructions need plumbing. So as I've said, look at the roof above your head on the top of your house. That has to be done by a licensed plumber. Look at the water coming into your toilet or coming into your shower or coming into your kitchen. That has to be done by a licensed plumber. So there are so many job opportunities out there. You can work in domestic sites, you can work on commercial sites. So domestic would be working on a renovation or when someone is, building a new house. Commercial is when you're working on huge, big, multi-story buildings. Now, you might have a building which has 30 floors on it, and there may be 10 apartments. Imagine how much plumbing needs to get done in all of those. So there are many job opportunities out there for plumbing. Next slide, please. All right, how can you get into the industry? Start with a Cert 2, and that's what I suggest you do. As I said, it will show an employer that you can apply yourself, and it gives you the basic skills and knowledge to enter the industry as an apprentice. So you can seek an employer, you can speak with an employer to obtain an apprenticeship. If you are at Box Hill and you undertake a pre-app, our pre-apps are in the same area, in the same workshop as our apprentices. So if you're quite an outgoing person, you can actually go and network with some of the apprentices, touch base with them and see if their employer is actually looking for an apprentice. You can work with an ASN. So an ASN stands for an Australian Support Network Provider. An ASN is someone like MEGT or Serena Russo. They have their own online jobs boards, and we quite often get sent lists of job opportunities, which I then forward on to my pre-app teachers, who will then discuss it with the pre-app students in class. You can seek work experience. So it wouldn't hurt to, go into Reece and put a flyer up on Reece saying looking for work experience or looking for a plumber, because plumbers go to Reece. You can put your phone number and your name there, and someone who may be looking for an apprentice may call you. We also have a jobs and skills centre at Box Hill at our Elgar Road campus, and we have an online jobs board which are updated from our employers. They send us details to say they're looking for an apprentice. That goes on the online jobs board, and once you are enrolled as a student, you'll have access to that online jobs board. And once again, there's another photo of Amy doing some sheet metal. Looks like she's actually doing one of the units is flash penetration. So she has to cut a hole in the sheet metal. She's going to put a cylinder in it, so it looks like an extraction.